Welcome or welcome back to Behind the Purple Door. Today I want to talk to you about my vintage journey and why it felt so incredibly hard to get to where I wanted to go. This is going to be mainly focused on my personal experience, what I've done to finally manage to create the garments I want to create, and we're going to focus on knitting today. So if you've watched the channel so far, I've been struggling to really figure out what I wanted to do with this place. I wanted to build a community. I wanted to find people that did what I did, but I think I took it the wrong way. And it took me a while to realize that what I really want to achieve is getting back into vintage and making the fashion of the 1930s to 50s wearable for me. I don't want to feel like I'm wearing a costume, but I also don't want to wear modern day clothing because I just do not feel comfortable in it. So if that is you, if you want to start dressing vintage, if you want to start knitting vintage, if you want to start creating garments from this era, this is your place. Come along with me on my journey. I'm going to share everything I wish I would have known starting out. So you don't have to spend 4 years. I think it's 4 years that I've spent to get to a point where I'm making garments I actually love. Okay, so where do we start? I think we're going to start with my journey. Then we're going to talk about what changed for me, what made it click, what made me knit garments, vintage garments that actually worked. Resources. I'm going to talk about, the things that I've used. What I want to do for MeMadeMay. So I have a pledge for MeMadeMay, and what is the goal behind that? I'm going to go into that a little bit. And what can you expect from this channel? I will give you a sneak peek of the next video at the end, and we're going to go about the plans. Okay, so I hope that is something you might enjoy. And if that's the case, grab a cup of something, as the YouTubers apparently always say in videos that I watch. And let's head right in. Okay, so let's start at the beginning, I guess. I always, not always, but I guess since I was in my late teens, I wanted to dress vintage. I was really inspired and drawn to the 40s and 50s at the beginning. And it just seemed so inaccessible. It just seemed so huge. You have hair, you have makeup, you have fashion that you cannot get anywhere, really. True vintage is hard to come by. There's reproduction that I tried that, but that is not always really good quality, and I didn't really have a lot of money at the beginning, so it seemed like this huge world, and there were tons of videos pointing in different directions. You have to do this and this and this and that, and I just felt so overwhelmed. And usually when I want to do things, I'm going all in, and I needed to be not perfect, but I'm not happy with 20%, let's say that. So I've tried vintage quite a few times. The first time it really clicked for me was when I was living in Amsterdam for an internship. And I'm trying to find pictures of the time back then, but I'm really shy on pictures, so there might not be any. But what did I start with? I got into one of those really beautiful vintage shops in Amsterdam, and I got a dress with a petticoat, and it was all big, and it was vintage 100% of reproduction vintage. But, the 50s, and it was loud, and it was out there, and I felt like I was wearing a costume. I wanted to be the person that was wearing those clothes, but it just was one level too far up for me. I was buying high heels, beautiful vintage shoes, and I was moving back into my uni town, which has cobblestone all over. I'm not going to wear heels to uni. So when I went back from Amsterdam, that all just, I don't think I've ever worn those clothes really again, which is a pity because they were beautiful, but they were just too loud vintage for me. And then I tried off and on again over the next few years. I started knitting in 2018, and I did what probably a lot of people do. I started knitting what was on Instagram. Everyone was knitting certain tops, and I was knitting them, but they never really felt like me. So I stopped knitting again and I started sewing. And that is when it started to shift. I found Sew Over It, and I found the Closet Historian, And there were just so many beautiful patterns, and they seemed accessible. You needed fabric, but that wasn't that expensive. You know, it's cotton fabrics if you sewing 30s, 40s, and 50s. So that kind of was my first entry, and I really wore those clothes. I didn't feel like I was wearing a costume, probably because I made them myself and I was so proud. They were not the best clothes, but it was just perfect for me. And then I got pregnant with my daughter, and with pregnancy, everything just went out of the window, and I needed practical clothing, and so did the first year. And then I got into drafting my own patterns with the Closet Historian, and that was another step I took, another level of wearing vintage clothes, and I got to like 30 or 40%. So I got the silhouette down, and I didn't feel like I was wearing a costume, and that was really great. But I never really made the transition with knitting. I tried and tried, but I usually would knit something that was too big or it was too modern. And vintage knitting patterns, they're just so complicated when you don't understand them. So let's move into the resources that really were a game changer for me. And the game changer, like the best thing ever, was Sidney from Squid School. I'm tremendously thankful to have found her, for her to have created Squid School, this place with all that knowledge, and she's sharing so many things. I've learned how to properly measure my vintage or my knitted garments. So as I've said, I've drafted my own sewing patterns. I was pretty familiar with um, my body measurements, realizing I have narrow shoulders, and that makes a huge difference in vintage knitting. I had shirts really drop off my shoulders for the longest time, so that wasn't the point. But really understanding how those garments, how the fabric differs, how to think about ease, that just was a big game changer, and also understanding how those patterns are constructed. Her patterns are really taking you by the hand, as a lot of modern patterns do, explaining a lot of things. She has a lot of videos explaining techniques and stuff. And once you understood the way those garments are typically constructed, you can figure out the old vintage patterns. So yeah, that is tip number one. Tip number two, if you don't want to go through the hassle of measuring yourself, creating garments based on your measurements and that kind of stuff, which I highly recommend you do, by the way. There's Poison Girls out there. I love her patterns. They're just also really beautiful, and they're giving you measurements, and you can just knit them. It might take you a tad longer to get the perfect garment out of it, but I think it's just as beautiful. And once you've done those things, you can take modern designers and just play around with ease or with construction or with hemlines to make them look vintage, which is something I've been doing a lot. I've been falling down a rabbit hole of Sally Nordlund patterns. If you've watched any of the past videos, and they also seem to fit quite nicely into my vintage inspired wardrobe, because that's the thing, I'm not trying to do anything vintage or true vintage, like you're putting out your textbook and you're checking. That's not it. I want to have the vintage vibe, and I want to feel good in it. And if it's a modern pattern, it's a modern pattern. You know what I mean? We're not getting vintage yarn, really. So just do it your way, is I guess what I want to say. And the pattern I'm wearing today, I'm going to have a pattern picture for you up here, was the first pattern that I loved. I knit that pattern and it took forever. So the body is knit on the machine, and the lace is knit by hand. And I think I knit the body in like 2 days, and the lace took like 3 months. And I know not everyone has a knitting machine, but that actually really helped for me with having 2 kids. I can do a lot of stockinette stuff just on the machine. But never mind. So that was the first pattern, and that made me realize that I wanted to figure out more. I wanted to knit vintage patterns. And there were quite a few fails in there, but I was getting better and better with each pattern Sidney put out there, with each thing I've learned about reading my body. You know, you're gonna invest a lot of money probably in yarn, in the sense of your time. So invest it in resources as well. Is all I can say. And just to make that clear, this is not supposed to be another person explaining vintage patterns to you. So there's so much out there. There is Sidney, as I said. There is Susan Crawford, Poison Girls. There are just so many people that can explain those things to you. The aim of this channel is to point you in the right directions and for us to share informations we have, share knowledge we have, and to figure out the wardrobe together, not teach you how to do those things. Mainly because they're doing an incredible job, and I really can't make any videos explaining things because I'm left-handed, and you probably wouldn't understand what I'm doing because half of the time I'm not understanding what people are doing that are right-handed. So yeah, different rabbit hole. So that is kind of my story and my tips on today's resources used and I wish I would have had before. Number 3 is gonna be MeMadeMay. So we got to this, or I got to this point. How am I moving forward? So I don't want to spend tons of money in buying new clothing or anything. I want to use what I've got and then fill in the gaps. And I've tried capsule wardrobe at the beginning of the year and it just doesn't work for me because I can't really stick to a whole wardrobe. I'm getting so many ideas and I'm trying to make my own designs and stuff, and that's just not going to work. New approach. MeMadeMay. My pledge is I want to use what I've got. I want to scrummage through my wardrobe and I really want to throw away things that I'm no longer wearing, that don't no longer fit my style, and figure out outfits with the things I have that I love. That is it. I want to mend things that don't work anymore or that have holes in them. I have a skirt lying over there that I really love, but it's just too big. So I'm going to take off the waistband. I'm going to take it in so I can wear it again. I have a lot of dresses I want to take in. Mend them like they would have done in the 30s, 40s, and 50s in all the past decades. That is my pledge. And the idea is I'm going to take pictures of me every day, as one does over on Instagram. And every Sunday, I'm going to do a recap. What did I like? What were my favorite outfits? What did I not like? And which garments are going to go? And I think I'm going to just post the picture here, the video here on YouTube as well. But if you want to see the pictures, head on over to Instagram. My name is, my handle, I'm going to put that somewhere here, is easy/behind the purple door. So that is MeMadeMay. So what is the plan for after May? Once I've realized what I need in my wardrobe, I'm going to make a plan. And even though I just said I'm not good at sticking to plans, I hope I'm going to stick to that one. I'm going to make a plan of all the things that I need, and I'm going to make a list of everything I have and of the things that I love and that I feel like essentials. So that is a video I think about doing, like my knitting essentials that I think, knitted garment essentials that I think you need. I'm going to give you some vintage inspired patterns from booklets or from the modern designers out there, so you have a starting point. I definitely want to do a quicker video about my 5 projects for summer. That is going to be up next week because I have a lot of summer yarn, and the summer knitting bug really hasn't bitten me yet. So I don't really like to knit in the summer because I feel so hot and stuffy all the time. And I haven't really found yarn that felt comfortable wearing when it's hot out there. And you're probably not going to wear it with 30 degrees plus Celsius, mind you. But there should be a sweet spot for also for me to wear hand knitted garments in the summer. So we're going to figure that one out too this year. So those are the 2 probably next videos I'm going to do. If there's anything else you want to hear, any questions you have, please just pop them down below. I really want to get to know other vintage enthusiasts, other people that want to knit vintage. I'm just really hoping we can form like a community here, and so have each other's backs, because the world is not always easy out there. So it would be really nice to have a community for that. So I really hope you liked today's video. If you can't tell, I am super excited. And you know the drill, like and subscribe. And I really hope I'm going to see you for the next videos. And I really hope I'm going to have a comment of you down below. I really would love to get to know all of you. Bye.